Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Memory here. We are here for the next episode of Oregairu Season 3, this being episode 10 of this season. Including this episode, guys, we have 3 more episodes to go, so we are winding down. We are in the end game, obviously. With that being said, I enjoyed what we had with the previous episode. I talked about that. But just the way it flowed, the way it went, I necessarily, I guess, wasn't expecting it because, we're in the end game. We don't have much time left, for them to wrap this up. So maybe it all comes out in these last 3 episodes. I'm not really sure, but kind of bouncing off of that, I have been actually seeing and hearing a lot more people like on Twitter and Reddit and whatnot, kind of voicing their concerns or their complaints with how this has been adapted, especially lately. Like apparently they've been cutting a lot of like Yukinan's monologues and just her scenes in general. And they've been pushing Yui more. Which if that's the case, like because we know what it is with Hikki and Yukinan, we know how Hikki feels about Yukinan and vice versa. And if they're cutting things out that should be there, especially from Yukinan, I feel like Yukinan especially lately, should have more focus, or she should have had more focus, or more screen time, honestly. And we just didn't have that. Like in the previous episode, for example, I was definitely expecting more Yukinan focus, but we mostly had Yui, which I know Yukinan told Hikki to go, grant Yui's wish and all that, and of course Hikki was going to listen to that. But even with that still, and I did enjoy that time that Hikki and Yui spent together, but I was expecting more Yukinan, honestly. I really was. But maybe it all comes out in these last 3 episodes. I'll have to watch and see for myself. We'll have to watch and see for ourselves. So let's get into it, guys. See what we'll have with this episode. With all that being said, we're gonna get into it. We're hopping into it, excuse me. Same thing, whatever. 0 seconds, and we're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, play. Hopping, whatever. As long as we get into the episode, that's all that matters. And the Shiro Meguri scene at the end of the previous episode was really cool too, because we know they're graduating, and so yeah, there is kind of like they're cheering, but also kind of some sadness there too that they're moving on. Hired Yakuza or something. It's Saki just walking like, hello. Facts, though. At least he's honest about it. Hey, Hikki's always gonna be kind of honest about it, especially things like that. And the way she looked away right there, man. We'll see how it goes though. And like the thing with like Yukinan telling Hikki to grant, like I think I talked about this on Twitter. I don't know if I talked about it in my video, but Yui's wish obviously initially was to get with Hikki. And I feel like when she realized that Hikki has this thing for Yukinan, that's when she kind of pushed that. Like she was trying to move on, I guess. Even though she was saying she still wanted everything, which Hikki and for them to be friends, right? All 3 of them. But Yui really, when it comes down to it, she wants the utmost happiness for Yukinan and Hikki. And if that's the number one wish of hers, then where Hikki's going to have the utmost happiness in terms of a relationship is not going to be with Yui. It's going to be with Yukinan, right? And vice versa, Like, Yukinan, her being alone, I feel like in the long run wouldn't benefit her happiness, her utmost happiness. Her being with Hikki would benefit it more so than obviously her being alone. So, it's like that's the thing. If Yui's main wish, if that wish is more important than her just being with Hikki, in a perfect world you would be able to have everything, Yui, but it's just not the case because you're just not the perfect fit for Hikki. You're ideally not what Hikki wants. It's Yukinan. So it's just all we know what it is. We know what it is. But that was something definitely to talk about. I think if I remember correctly, this episode was titled after Shizuka Sensei too. Oh, okay. That was end of season 1 stuff. It was season 1, right? When they did like the dance and all that. I think it was end of season 1. Eye contact. Eye contact is important here, y'all. She's like, you don't have to do every single thing for me. Like a mic, I can set up a mic. The trap. Man gotta look out for himself though too though. Remember that. I mean that's true, yeah, there's a lot of guys like that that exist. Using business. Using business. That's what I've been talking about lately too. Like scenes like this, yo, are things they'll look back on when they're older and be like, wow, that was awesome, or that was a fun time, or that was something Yui's mother kind of touched on in the previous episode. She'll fire the vice president. Yo, Iroha kind of goaded for that. I'll just fire the vice president. Like, oh my gosh. Right, that's tempting. That's tempting. Ooh. Ooh, like she's saying forget about them two. I'll provide you with the perfect excuse. Damn. But really she is looking out for them. Yeah, like and looking out for him. I like how Hikki didn't even like budge. Like Hikki really didn't even budge when she did that to him though. BGMs. See, it just I don't know. It just almost feels like oh, that's awesome. I know like this is a big thing like the prom and all that, but I mean, oh, there's Haruno and the mother. It just feels like any kind of regular episode of Oregairu almost to me. I don't know. Like like the previous episode and this episode so far. I mean, we're still early into, it, but this doesn't even really feel like Endgame, honestly, to me at least. Like, man, I forgot about that too. Oh, yeah, you can't just say that and say just kidding. Like, and we know Hikki's can dance. He already's established that. Like, this wasn't for him. Like, now I'm doing this and I look stupid as he's hunched over. Like, yeah, man. Like, a part of me loves to see this, but like, a part of me is like, oh, it has to be Yukinon, you know? Like, cause I love Yui. Like, and I love Yukinon too. It's just like, oh, I'm so conflicted, so conflicted, man. Next one will be the last. I'm wondering when we're gonna see that all white dress on Yukinon too. Like, that has to be coming soon, right? Unless that was just a thing for the opening or whatever. Wait, she was just looking at him. Okay, she's just teasing. So you're used to looking down at me? She like rubbed the mic like. There's been multiple times where he's been kind of lost in a trance, like looking at her like that. Like drop. That's what that sounded like to me. Like she just like muted it or turned it off or something. But it's like no, this like I was saying a couple episodes ago, like what 2 episodes ago, like this can't be it. Like this you're not gonna end it with this. Like no, I feel like Hikki gotta step up to the plate and do something with Yukinon, right? Or like I don't know. We got like everyone in here now. We got like everyone in here now. She got that like kind of that acceptance from her mother there, like that praise, and she seemed like she liked that. And then the music just suddenly turns. I like her how she's being straight up and honest like this. Everyone's hearing, seeing this. Okay. Sigh of relief. Like, See what happens when you talk things out. See what happens when you like are just honest and straight up and don't like beat around the bush, you know, or just like kind of avoid it, like, you know. Because I feel like that went pretty well. Haruno, look what Haruno brought that about though. Haruno did push that, kind of brought that conversation up. I don't know if Yuki-nan would have brought that up if Haruno didn't say anything, but. Why do you have to be satisfied? Uh, another sigh of relief. Yeah, she's always saying weird things. Like she's always like, yeah, she's always like that, man. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's different for everyone. Weird from the start. I mean, yeah, when it brought you and her together, it was when it first started, yeah. Something they'll always remember. And they both turn to him. Like, it's up to you, dude. It's. Well. Interruption in this at this moment too, at this time. Like terrible. Talk about terrible timing. Oh, he's gonna dodge that bullet. He's gonna dodge that bullet. Which he shouldn't. He shouldn't. Honestly, you gonna walk away from this? Oh, she's chasing him. He hasn't saw it like that. Bro. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, imagine if we had these monologues though that apparently were cut out. Like, I feel like this is like would just have hold so much more weight. Like, you gotta let her finish, man. You gotta let her finish. You gotta let her finish. Dude, look how she looking at him though. Hikki, you should have just let her finish. You should have let her. He don't want to hear it. He don't want to believe it, or something, or or what? Yo, she like, what are you doing? She's like so confused. What was that? What was that? What are you doing, Hikki? What was that? Oh yeah, like I'm saying, you can't run away from this. Why do you have to be satisfied? Like, hello, you ain't even involved. Like, you're involved somewhat, but like, I mean, it's between him and Yukina. Well, Yui's there too, but just friends. The wishes she made was an act of compensation. Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what I was saying. Man, it's probably like bullshit. Like, damn. So she really just doesn't want him or them essentially to go on the same path, or what? Because what she's been through, she can very, I guess she can relate a lot to their situation right now from her whole thing that's been going on for many years now. She doesn't want them going down the same path. She wants them to learn, I guess, from her experience or her mistake. So really, that's her kind of pushing them, you know. And we've been saying, like, this isn't what Yukina wants. This isn't what Hikki wants. We know what it is. It's like they have to say it. They have to do it. They have to, like, straight up. Oh my gosh. Yo, Shizuka could just do everything, man. Look, she's still in her outfit too. Like, this man, I'm telling you, man. He just needs, honestly, at this point, like, just drop everyone else and just go away. Drop out of school if you want to, and just go with Shizuka Sensei. Like, honestly, like, I mean, and Shizuka saw it more than anyone. Shizuka saw it more than anyone, than even Haruno. Like, you honestly pack all of your feelings into just a single word. There is so much there. Can you really put it on one thing? She right. No, you can't. Just listen to Shizuka Sensei. Just push Haruno aside. Like, Shizuka knows more so than her anyway. Damn. Ah, feel a little better after some exercise. That was nice though. That little scene. Man, I wish we had would have had more of a scene with Shizuka Sensei. Honestly, after that, but that was just good enough for me. But I would have liked for that to be longer. But I don't know if it was supposed to be longer. Final lesson to you. Okay, so maybe it continues on in the next episode, I guess. Maybe that scene with Shizuka Sensei and Hikki, which there's some legendary scenes with with Shizuka Sensei and Hikki. I just instantly think, I think it was what, season 2, episode 7, episode 8, if I remember correctly, when they were driving and then they kind of stopped and got out. I think it was episode 7 or 8 of season 2. I don't really remember off the top of my head, but you guys know that episode with Shizuka Sensei and Hikki was just like, dude. So maybe like next episode, maybe a continuation of that. I'm not really sure of what we saw here at the end of the episode, but I mean, man, like that scene with Haruno, you could tell from the expression on her face and just how she was, kind of being there. That's like she, I guess, is speaking from experience and kind of doesn't want them. Like I said, exactly what I said. Like she doesn't want them necessarily going down. You're ending up the same way kind of that she did, and that it, like she said, her whole life has been a sham. Like, she doesn't want them going down that same path or that same route, because in the end it's just going to hurt you a lot more. It's going to affect you a lot more, especially mentally, right? And what we really want, obviously what we all want, is for these characters to be the utmost happiest, right? For, each of them. But Yui's case, like her wish, like she wants obviously all of them to be together, to be friends or whatever, and she wants the utmost happiness for Hikki and Yukinon. And just Hikki being with Yui is not going to bring that utmost happiness. Hikki and Yukinon is going to bring that utmost happiness if they're together. And I mean, like, I guess necessarily they don't even have to get together romantically or anything like that. But you can't just, like, Hikki and Yukinon, you can't. And I think Yukinon was about to say something. She was about to say something. Hikki cut her off and did that. That scene was really weird, by the way. Like how he, like, I don't know what the hell. When I was watching, I didn't know what the hell was about to happen, because he started grabbing her fingers, like, he started grabbing her fingers like that, and then he just says bye. I was just like, man, you cut her off, like you avoided that, you running away from that, like what she was about to say right there, like she was probably, like, it seemed like she was definitely ready to kind of pour it out, essentially, and he just kind of like said nah, like he shut that down. I'm just like, Hikki, bro, like, come on, man, like. That was wrong. That was wrong of him in my opinion, And I know in his mind, like, obviously that's what he wants, but he doesn't want to hurt. He probably doesn't want to hurt Yui, or he just doesn't want. It's just so, there's so much, so complicated, man. It really is, And I just mean, like, in an ideal perfect world, obviously we'd have everything that we want. It's not a perfect world, right? But if he keeps these things inside of him or avoids this or runs away from this, that's just gonna hurt him more. That's just gonna hurt him more in the long run, honestly. And I know I was joking about, like, just ignoring what Haruno said, especially when Shizuka came on screen and said all that, which you gotta love that. But really, what Haruno's saying here and what she's kind of pushing onto Hikki is good stuff. I feel like she's honestly right, and she's speaking from experience. Maybe not everything. Like, it depends what light, I guess, you see it in. Like, in Shizuka Sensei's case, like, she doesn't see it necessarily the same way that Haruno does. Everyone has their own kind of thoughts and opinions, and a lot of that is obviously shaped by their own experiences of what they've saw. So obviously Shizuka saw the service club, and their dynamic and how they've been together. She saw it in a different light or in a different way than Haruno has, obviously. So we got to take these kinds of things into account, how everyone's own thoughts and opinions are shaped differently, right? Just from their own experiences or how they see things. So remember that too. But yeah, this episode was pretty good, I gotta say. It was honestly pretty good. I did like that Iroha scene there too. Really, honestly, she was looking out for Hikki there, looking out for all of them. But of course, she got to tease him a little bit. She got to tease him a little bit with it. It's her saying, you could just, what she say, it would be convenient to just be with me or something like that, and she kind of pushed herself onto him. And so yeah, I mean, there was that. But man, we got 2 more episodes to go, dude. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like, how are you going to wrap everything up in these last 2 episodes, dude? I don't know if it's going to be rushed. I don't know, like, I don't know, man. We got 2 more episodes to go, and I just feel like there's still so much kind of there, right? I feel like there is so much more there, but I guess we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I hope you guys did enjoy my reaction to this episode. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out.